Hey guys, it's Jill Gorby. I am the creator of the Motivation Nation and a Diamond Beachbody coach, and I'm here to talk to you about vision today. I want to share a few things with you first, though, about myself. Well, first, when we were deciding who gets to talk on what day, and the very first day, day one, was vision, and all of a sudden I just blurted my name out. I'm like, oh, Jill Gorby, I'll take that one. And then I thought, what in the world are you doing? You know, inside my head, I was like, why did you just choose that one? It's day one, for one. It's terrifying. And for two, is vision. What do you know about vision? Oh my gosh. And, but I think that's why I chose it. I like a good challenge, and I really do feel that I have a good take on vision. And I have learned throughout my life how to envision my future and go for my visions and my dreams. So I'm going to share with you how I've done that. And it starts in my childhood. So bear with me a minute. I'm going to share a couple stories from my past, one of which I've never shared before. And so I'm a little bit nervous today to share it, but I really think it's going to help you and help myself as well. So when I was born with a cleft lip and palate. I know I've shared that numerous times. That's who I am. It's a huge factor of who I've become in my life. If you don't know what it is, basically, it's a facial deformity. Your palate of your mouth does not form right, and your lip does not form right, and occasionally your nose as well. And mine was pretty severe, so yes, it did affect my nose. Because of that, I battled with a lot of self-confidence issues growing up. I really didn't think I was pretty. I was nervous that people didn't think I was pretty. I was nervous that people would never think I was pretty. And because of that, and those self-confidence issues, I had some depression problems too. And I still do. I still battle with it. It's definitely something that is so deep that it's going to take me a long time, probably my whole life, to move on. So when I was 16, everything kind of came to a climax. By the time I was 16, I had like 10 plastic surgeries on my face. It had changed a lot. Every time I had one, I had to take time off of school, and people would notice and they would ask me about it. Some people were mean about it, others were nice. It was really, really tough to go through that as a teenage girl in your prime development, where you're really learning who you are. To have a facial deformity is really hard. So when I was 16, that all kind of came to a climax. I was I didn't know who I was. I didn't really have any good friends, and I didn't like who I was. And I was sitting at home one day all by myself, and my family was gone elsewhere. I'm not really sure where they were, and I don't know what happened that day to get to this point, but something happened, and I was sitting at home and I was crying. And I was sitting at the counter. We had bar stools, so I was sitting on a bar stool, and I was just sitting there crying and wondering, why me? Why do I have to have a cleft lip and palate? Why do I have a sister who's gorgeous, who's never had a flaw on her, and then I have to have a cleft palate and a cleft lip? Why? You know, and whatever happened that day made me really, really sad and depressed. And while I was sitting there feeling sorry for myself, basically is what that was, I looked up and I saw a prescription bottle of pills. And I picked it up, and I to this day, I don't know what it was. I don't even know whose it was, but I know it was prescription. It wasn't something you can get over the counter. And I remember sitting there looking at that. It was full. There was probably 30 pills in there. And the thought crossed my mind as I dumped them out onto the counter. What if I take all of these all at once? What if I fall asleep and never wake up? I would not have any more fear of my life. I would feel good about myself finally, because I would be dead. My parents would never have to give me another surgery. My sister and brother would never have to go through watching me go through all of those changes. It might just make everything easier. I would never have to go to school again and deal with the bullies. And I literally thought that that was the answer. And luckily at that moment, while I was sitting there having self-pity and thinking selfishly about taking my own life, my mom came home. My mom is my best friend. She is, and I'm sorry if I get a little teary-eyed, but she is the woman that you call if you have a problem. The best woman in the world. She knows exactly how to make people feel better about themselves. So she came home and she saw me sitting there. I had been crying. She saw the pills, and I think she put two and two together right away and realized, what are you doing, Jill? And she sat down with me. And for the next 1 or 2 hours, I don't know how long it was, but it was a long time, we talked. And I spilled everything. How I was feeling about myself. How I felt that nobody would ever love me. I would never find a man to love me. I would never have people look up to me and think, oh, I want to be like her. I thought all of these terrible things about myself. And while I was talking to her, she asked me, well, what do you want in life? What do you want in a man? And I said, I want a tall, dark, handsome man who's smart. I want somebody who will come home and hug me and kiss me every day and tell me I'm beautiful every time I walk in the room. I wanted a Prince Charming, and I just didn't think that I was deserving of that. She asked me what I wanted in life, and I told her I wanted people to look up to me. I wanted to be a leader, but how am I supposed to be a leader when I don't even look perfect? How am I supposed to, at that time I thought leaders were perfect. I had no idea. And over the next course of that 1 or 2 hours, basically, she taught me how to have a vision for my life. She taught me to dream and dream big, and to never let myself think that I'm not worth all of these dreams. She made a comment to me once, and I don't know if it was that day or a different day, but she said, Jill, God would not let you dream that if he didn't know that you could do it. He wouldn't let you dream that. So dream away. Dream to your heart's desire and do it. And I think that was the first time in my life that I really learned about vision, what it is to have a vision, and to not hold yourself back and to dream big. So thank you to my mom for coming in and saving my life and turning it around. That was a turning point. To this day, I've never had suicidal thoughts since then. That was the one and only time. Thank God. So fast forward quite a few years, I graduated from college. I was a dental hygienist. I bought a house at age 23 all by myself, put like 25% down. I was very successful, still am. Met the man of my dreams, tall, dark, and handsome. His name is Weston. He's my husband now. He does treat me like a princess. He is the most caring guy I've ever met in my life, and I'm very lucky to have him. Over the course of that 8 years since that time that I just told you about, I had gained some weight, and I was looking to lose weight, and this is still before Beachbody. But I had also been a huge partier and a big smoker, and I just knew I needed a change in my life. So I started running. I started running on day one. I quit smoking, and I started running, and I started dreaming again. And the vision I had from that day forward was I wanted to run a full marathon. I wanted a sticker in my car that said 26.2 because to me that showed success. And it showed that you knew what you were doing, you work hard, and you accomplish your goals. But I knew in order to get that sticker, I had to do it. So I started running. And I was nervous because on day one of running, I couldn't even make it the length of a football field without almost puking because I was a huge heavy smoker, like a pack and a half a day before this. So I got, not even probably 50 yards down the road, and I was doubled over just hacking a lung up. And I was like, how in the world am I supposed to run a full marathon? But I kept going, and I kept envisioning. And I joined a running group, numerous of them, but one in particular where I met a running coach. And his name, some of you might know him, but his name is Marathon Don, or Don Kern. And I started doing coaching with him. And every Tuesday and Thursday, we would meet at 4:30 in the morning and go running. And he would talk the whole time we were running, because I couldn't talk. I could barely breathe. I was an ex-smoker. But he would talk. And he would tell me, his thing is he runs a marathon one a month or one a week. I can't remember now, but he runs a ton. He's ran over 200 marathons. But he would always talk to me and tell me about how awesome it was to cross that finish line, and how it would make his whole inner being just feel alive, and the people that he helped along the way and that he met along the way, it was an adventure. Every single marathon was an adventure for him. And he started to teach me about vision, and I started to run more, a lot more. I actually signed up for my first marathon, and I started envisioning, and every time I would run, I would envision myself crossing the finish line at the end of the marathon. And I would envision my parents and my soon-to-be husband, I was engaged at the time, in the stands or on the sideline cheering me on. My sister, I would envision the pride that they would feel for me, that I could see it in their eyes. I would envision how I felt when I crossed the finish line, that I would cry and I would be so elated that I wouldn't even be able to talk, and that there would be people around me cheering me on and saying, "Good job." And I would be able to put that sticker on my car. And so everywhere I went, people would know, "Wow, you ran a full marathon. That's amazing." And those are the things I wanted, and I envisioned them. And I did it. I did it numerous times. And every time I crossed that finish line, I got this euphoria, this high. And it's just amazing. And it's so cool to envision your goal and go for it and do it. So why am I telling you all these crazy stories about myself? This is about Beachbody, right? Because it's the same thing with Beachbody. When you're sitting here thinking about your business and about your future and why you joined the company, I want you to start envisioning your dreams and your goals, and envision it. And that's your assignment, actually, for day one, is to sit down. I want you to go find a quiet area. It might be your bedroom, laying on your bed. It might be your couch, laying on your couch. If you have a ton of kids and a family, it might be out in your car just to get away. But go find a quiet area where you can have 20 to 30 minutes by yourself, because it's going to take some time. And I want you to sit there, and I want you to close your eyes and just dream and envision yourself. Where do you see yourself in a year from now? Where do you see yourself in 2 years or just a month? Start envisioning your future and detail it. So while you're sitting there with your eyes closed, do you see yourself next year at Summit? I hope you do. If you're in this group, you better be going to Summit. And if you do, what do you see yourself doing at Summit? For me, I envision myself being at Summit. I want to be on the bottom floor where they see all the elite and the top coaches. That's where I want to be. And I want my team to be down there with me. I want to be able to look over to my right and to my left and see the women that I brought with me and the men, whoever it is, and see their smiling faces as they look up at the stage, and then just see the sparkle in their eyes. I want to see them glowing. And I want to know that, wow, they're envisioning their future right now. They're doing it, and I want my husband to be there with me. I want him to be sitting next to me, and I want to be able to see his face change as he has an aha moment, like, wow, I can see why Jill is going crazy over this company and this journey. I want to be able to walk across the stage for recognition. I would like to be an elite coach. When I walk across the stage, I want to see, Carl Deichler or John Congdon or whoever it is, and shake their hand and just smile and say thank you. And I want to see them smile back and say thank you and good job or congrats or whatever it is. I have all of these visions. I want to wear gorgeous dresses, but I want to wear comfy shoes because I don't want to fall and trip and hurt myself in front of everybody. So I'm going to have long dresses that I can have really cute shoes that are comfy. All of these, I want my hair to be down and long and curly. I want my makeup to be on point. I have all of these visions and I think about them daily. And that's what I want you to do. So when you're sitting there in your quiet place with your eyes closed, envision yourself a year from now and get detailed. And when you start to think, oh, I don't know, that's a deep vision. I don't know if I can be that good. I don't know if that will be good enough. Then I want you to take a step back and dream bigger. Okay? Push yourself beyond what you even thought you could do. That is a vision. That is a dream. That is a vision. So don't be shy. Don't cut yourself short. Dream big. Envision your future. Okay? And then write it down here so that we can get it on paper. Below this video, write it so that we can see it and we can help you in this group, guide you to your vision. So I hope you guys have a good day. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye-bye.